News. Belize bus operators face extended wait as government holds off on fuel relief amid rising costs. In the health sector, public concern mounts over prescription requirement for contraceptives, sparking fears of restricted access for women. Prime Minister John Briceño acknowledges these concerns and promises review of controversial policy. And the Belize government considers tax cuts and cost-saving measures to ease rising fuel burden on consumers. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Friday, April 10th, 2026.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
ExpressNet now has up to 400 megabytes of high-speed internet. Choose the speed that fits you. From faster browsing to faster gaming. Connect more devices at once. Or bundle it with Express Plus and HBO Max. Internet and streaming entertainment, all in one.
Yeah, faster starts here.
Sign up today at any Centaur office or contact us to get started.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
From From Belize to Mexico, the journey of football's greatest moments will unite nations. Mexico, the only country to host the World Cup 3 times, 1970, 1986, and now in 2026, you can be a part of the game with Centaur. We're sending you and a friend to experience the opening of the World Cup firsthand. 2 tickets, flights, 3-night stay, and daily cash. One incredible opportunity. How to enter? Sign up for one of our new Express Plus bundles. Remember, faster speeds mean more entries. Existing customers, keep your account at 0 balance or pay in advance to be eligible. Plus, engage with us on social media for even more chances to win. The 2026 World Cup in Mexico awaits. Don't just watch, be part of it and score big with Centaur.
In 2023, Belize pioneered the establishment of ITSA STEAM Academy, the first public STEAM high school in Belize and the region. The 2025-26 budget supported the Academy's financial needs, covering both teacher and staff remunerations as well as operational costs. The 2026-2027 budget will continue this support and provide free education to approximately 300 students, comprising the Academy's full enrollment for the upcoming school year. Additionally, the Ministry of Education, in partnership with development partners, will construct 6 STEAM pavilions, 1 in each district, during the 2026-2027, expanding access to innovative STEAM education nationwide.
Good evening. With your newscast, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Jaden Gamis. We start off tonight's newscast with a disturbing report from the Corozal district, where authorities are currently examining a case involving an underage girl and allegations of unlawful sexual activity. The investigation was initiated on Thursday, January 29th of 2026, after a woman brought her 14-year-old daughter to the police station with concerning reports. According to the victim, she engaged in sexual relations with her 18-year-old boyfriend on 4 separate occasions, spanning from July to December 2025. The girl's mother was present during a medical assessment conducted on her daughter, which confirmed that she had been involved in sexual activity. Officials are actively pursuing the matter as investigations continue. Public concern is mounting across Belize following a recent clarification issued by the Ministry of Health and Wellness regarding the requirement of prescriptions for certain contraceptives. Over the past few hours, social media platforms have been flooded with reactions from women's groups and members of the public, many expressing worry that the enforcement of these regulations could make it more difficult for women, especially those with limited financial means, to access essential reproductive health services. In its statement, the ministry emphasized that the policy is not new, but rather part of a long-standing healthcare regulations aimed at ensuring patient safety. Officials explained that certain contraceptives, particularly hormonal methods such as birth control pills, patches, and injections, can have significant effects on the body and must be prescribed based on an individual's health profile. According to the ministry, healthcare providers assess critical risk factors before prescribing contraceptives, including a patient's history of blood clots or stroke, high blood pressure, smoking habits, migraines, and other underlying conditions. This process is intended to ensure that patients receive the safest and most suitable option for their needs. The ministry also noted that prescriptions are not meant to restrict access. In many cases, doctors can provide contraceptives with refills lasting up to 12 months, allowing for continued and convenient use. Additionally, consultations for contraceptives can serve as an entry point for broader healthcare services, including screening for sexually transmitted infections, reproductive health counseling, and routine checkups. Despite these assurances, the recent enforcement of the policy has sparked criticism, with advocacy groups arguing that it creates new barriers, particularly for women who cannot afford consultation fees. Amid the growing public outcry, Prime Minister John Bisagno addressed the issue, acknowledging the concerns being raised. While reiterating that the regulations are not new, the Prime Minister admitted that the matter has drawn significant criticism, even within his own household. He indicated that the government will review the policy, noting that its implementation could impact access to necessary medications.
In cabinet, well, before this thing happened, from what we have been told in cabinet, well, before this thing happened, that these things were already the law, but it was not being implemented. And so they believe that it is time to be able to implement some of these laws that have been in place. It's not a law that we're changing. It's been there. It's been in the books. There have been a lot of abuse when it comes to some of these medicines that should be given by prescription. For instance, in the United States, you can't buy antibiotics. Sorry, yeah, that's the right word. The title, antibiotics of 800, or prescription of 800 milligrams or above. You have to get a prescription because there's a lot of abuse. Also, doctors will tell you if you take a lot of antibiotics, eventually your body starts to reject it. So when you're really sick, you might not be able to be able to. If you want to get, and I noticed like in the United States, if you try to buy allergy pills with the decongestion, with the, what they call Allegra D, for instance, you only could buy like one pack for the month, and you have to give your ID to show that you're older than 21 years old and everything because of the potential abuse. No, Belize, no. Coming to Belize, no, I do agree that we just can't follow everything that a developed country does. So we need to be able to make adjustments to our needs. On the issue of birth control, of course, I get it last night when Rosanna said it, and she was like, what's wrong with you when it comes to contraceptives, because it's important to make this easy for women to avoid unwanted pregnancies, and I agree with her. And then I know that the technicians at the Ministry of Health will say, well, it is known that some of these birth control pills can cause what? I don't know if they said cancer or blood clots or whatever he said. And she was saying, okay, what data do you have to support that in Belize? So I agree with her. And sometimes, for want of the perfect, we mess up with the greater good for people, and this is just such a case. So we need to sit down with the Ministry of Health to talk about it and see how best we could navigate around.
Why is the office?
In the meantime, members of the local medical community have stepped up in to assist affected women. Gynecologist Leslie Perez, along with other healthcare professionals, has begun offering free consultations and prescriptions to those in need. Women seeking assistance can reach out through De La Fuente Pharmacy or contact Eve's Clinic, as efforts continue to ensure access while the situation is being reviewed. The issues remain a developing one, with many awaiting further clarification and possible adjustments from the government in the coming days. As public concern grows over contraceptive access, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has issued a clarification addressing confusion about prescription over and over-the-counter or OTC medications in Belize. In its latest release, the ministry stressed that no new regulations have been introduced requiring prescriptions for medications. Officials clarified that these rules have always existed as part of standard medical practice to ensure the safe and appropriate use of certain drugs. The ministry also sought to reassure the public that no sudden enforcement measures have been implemented that would disrupt access to medication. Officials explain that prescription medications require medical supervision due to individual health risks, while OTC medicines are safe for use without a doctor's oversight when taken as directed. OTC drugs are divided into two categories: general sales items available in stores and pharmacy-only products that do not require a prescription but must be obtained with guidance from a pharmacist. Common examples include Tylenol, ibuprofen, Alka-Seltzer, and Pepto-Bismol. The ministry added that prescription medicines, including contraceptives and treatments for chronic illnesses, require proper assessment, monitoring, and possible dosage adjustments. Prescriptions may include refills, allowing patients to access medication for extended periods. Patients with chronic conditions are encouraged to continue their medication while scheduling follow-up consultations, as regular medical checkups remain essential for effective care. Fuel prices in Belize continue to climb, mirroring rising global oil trends and placing increasing pressure on consumers at the pumps. Over the past few weeks, Belizeans have already faced two significant increases in fuel costs, with many now feeling the financial strain. With no immediate relief expected from international markets, the government is exploring measures to ease the burden. Speaking on the issue, Prime Minister John Briceño acknowledged the impact of rising prices and indicated that government is weighing its options, such as reducing taxes on fuel to provide some relief to the public. In addition, the Prime Minister noted that efforts are being made within the public sector to cut fuel consumption as part of broader cost-saving measures. This includes reducing fuel usage across government operations in an attempt to manage spending during the ongoing price usage.
As to fuel, we have been cutting the taxes already. We are giving up about $60 million already. 60, that's what I said, 60 million in the house. I think now what happened, because now we just gave up now on gasoline, on premium. Yeah, we just give up some taxes on the premium. We're not giving the entire increases to the public. We're being cut inside. I believe that now that just happened, was it this week? Sunday. So I think that when you include that, probably it'll be close to $80 million. Remember, $200 million, we are getting $200 million of excise taxes on fuel. And so it is a big lick. It's hurting us. I had a Ministry of Finance prepare a cabinet paper to our colleagues, so our colleagues could also, they know, but I want to make sure that they understand, guys, we will need to look how we're going to spend. We need to see where we can curtail spending. We need to be able to, especially do the carpooling with government employees, whereby, instead of then they're up and down, if they could carpool to be able to reduce the fuel. We already have a system in place whereby we chuck your vehicle and after hours we shut it down if possible. That it already is saving us a few $1 million. So we need to look in every which way where we can curtail. If there are certain areas in Capital 2 spending that we can hold back, at least until we know what's going to happen, then we will do so.
While no immediate changes have been announced, officials say discussions are ongoing as the government seeks ways to cushion the effects of rising fuel prices on Belizean households and businesses. Now, sticking to the topic of high fuel prices, the Belize Bus Association, or BBA, formally appealed to the government for assistance in response to these increases. According to the BBA, this escalation has placed immense financial pressure on bus operators, threatening the sustainability of their services. In their recent correspondence, the BBA outlined 3 potential solutions to mitigate the impact of soaring fuel costs: the removal of the Goods and Services Tax, GST, on fuel and vehicle parts, the reinstatement of COVID-era subsidies, or a proposed increase in bus fares. In a formal response dated today, the government addressed the association's request, stating that as it relates to the proposed increase in bus fares, Cabinet, after careful consideration, is unable to accede to the additional financial burden an increase in bus fees would place on commuters. The government further indicated regarding the other proposals, tax exemption on fuel and parts and subsidies. Cabinet is asking the BBA for patience while monitoring global fuel price trends. The letter states that it is anticipated that fuel prices may stabilize or decrease in the near future, potentially alleviating some financial strain on operators. Nevertheless, if these global trends persist longer than expected, the government has assured that it will revisit the issue and consider further relief measures. The official letter signed by Chester Williams, Senior Chief Executive Officer, acknowledged the importance of ongoing dialogue and cooperation between the government and bus operators. If concluded with an openness to further discussions, emphasizing a collective commitment to establishing a stable and sustainable public transportation system in Belize. Coming up next, BEL seeks approval from PUC to implement a new system of monthly adjustments to electricity bills. Stay tuned.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
The Orange Walk Town Council is inviting applications from suitably qualified and motivated individuals to fill 5 garbage fee collector positions within our revenue department. Minimum requirements: high school diploma, friendly and people-oriented personality, tech-savvy, must own reliable transportation, preferably a motorcycle, honest and dependable. Interested applicants are asked to submit the following documents: application letter, copy of high school diploma, valid social security card, 2 character references. Applications must be submitted in person to the Orange Walk Town Council office by February 20th, 2026. Join our team and contribute to keeping Orange Walk clean and organized.
From Belize to Mexico, the journey of football's greatest moments will unite nations. Mexico, the only country to host the World Cup 3 times, 1970, 1986, and now in 2026, you can be a part of the game with Centaur. We're sending you and a friend to experience the opening of the World Cup firsthand. 2 tickets, flights, 3-night stay, and daily cash. One incredible opportunity. How to enter? Sign up for one of our new Express Plus bundles. Remember, faster speeds mean more entries. Existing customers, keep your account at 0 balance or pay in advance to be eligible. Plus, engage with us on social media for even more chances to win. The 2026 World Cup in Mexico awaits. Don't just watch, be part of it and score big with Centaur.
Prime Minister John Briceño has confirmed that Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Amalia Mai, will be leaving her post after 5 years of service. According to the Prime Minister, Mai's departure is by her own decision. He explained that she had previously requested a 1-year contract and indicated earlier this year that she did not wish to renew it. Briceño noted that the transition creates an opportunity for both Mai to pursue other projects and for the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Francis Fonseca, to bring in new leadership within the ministry. While no new role has yet been announced for Mai, the Prime Minister says that her skills and experience will continue to be valued within his government.
Of the Prime Minister removing Amalia Mai as CEO,
The Office of the Prime Minister is not moving the Amalia Mai funds as CEO. Amalia Mai asked for a 1-year contract. She had a 1-year contract. In February, she gave me a letter saying that she would not renew her contract. The Prime Minister, I didn't. CEOs are named by the Prime Minister, but obviously has to be in consultations with their respective ministers. And in this instance, I think there's a mutual understanding between the CEO and the minister that probably CEO Mai wanting another challenge, something else different. She's been doing this for the past 5 years. And the minister's feeling that, okay, this is an ample opportunity to be able to bring in a new CEO and to either continue with what's going well, because there's a lot of good work we've been doing in the ministry. And if there's any adjustments that we can do, this is a perfect opportunity to do so.
Have you identified an ambassadorial post for Amalia?
It's not about identifying. Amalia is, I think, one of among our best diplomats that we have in Belize. And we're working on how we're going to use her. We want to use Amalia, but also I'm also waiting. I'm talking with Minister Fonseca for him to be able for us to be able to sit down to decide on who he believes to be the best person to take over from Amalia.
So she'll get an ambassador.
And then once that is done, then we could decide where we're going to put Amalia Mai, but we will use Amalia's work.
Belize Electricity Limited, BEL, is seeking approval from the Public Utilities Commission, or PUC, to implement a new system of monthly adjustments to electricity bills, aiming to better manage the volatile and rising cost of power generation. The move comes as BEL contends with costs that are increasing faster than current tariffs can accommodate. In its submission for the 2025 to 2026 Annual Review Proceeding, ARP, filed on April 1st, BEL proposed maintaining the current mean electricity rate, MER, at 0.4428 cents per kilowatt hour, and the reference cost of power, RCOP, at 30 cents per kilowatt hour. If approved, consumers would not see an immediate change in their base electricity rates. However, BEL's proposal is contingent upon establishing an automatic cost of power COP adjustment mechanism that would allow for monthly updates to electricity changes based on real-time market conditions. This approach is designed to respond swiftly to fluctuations in energy costs, which have been notably variable. The company explained that such fluctuations are driven by structural factors within Belize's energy sector. Despite the country's diverse energy portfolio, including hydro, biomass, imported energy, and thermal generation, the costs remain subject to significant swings. According to BEL, power prices have ranged from as low as 16 cents per kilowatt hour to as high as 46 cents in extreme cases, with delays in commissioning of lower cost energy projects exacerbating financial pressures. Under the proposed plan, monthly bill adjustments would be capped at plus or minimum 5% of the RCOP. These adjustments would be calculated based on a 6-month rolling average of actual power costs, a method intending to mitigate short-term spikes and provide more stability for consumers. Any discrepancies between actual costs and the approved RCOP would be reflected as either a surcharge or rebate, listed separately on bills. Additionally, any accumulated over or under recovery balances would be tracked and settled gradually over time. BEL emphasizes that this system would replace their current tariff adjustment process, which occurs infrequently and results in larger, less predictable rate changes. The new approach aims to provide smaller, more consistent adjustments, thereby reducing the risk of sudden bills increases and enhancing transparency. The company's final position reflects the urgency of such reforms. For the 2024 to 2025 period, BEL reported an under-recovery of approximately $6.7 million. Projections indicate this figure could escalate to $22.8 million in 2025 to 2026, with subsequent under-recoveries reaching $40.35 million in 2026 to 2027 and $25.78 million in 2027 to 2028. If these trends continue, regulatory balances could surpass $110 million by 2027, presenting significant cash flow challenges. BEL estimates that under the new mechanism, monthly recoveries would be in the range of $1.3 million to $1.6 million. The company asserts that this gradual recovery process would help reduce accumulated balances over time and create a more sustainable financial framework for electricity provisions in Belize. After years of objections and revisions, plans to expand Belize City's port are moving forward under strict conditions. On April 2nd, the National Environmental Appraisal Committee, NEAC, granted conditional approval to Port of Belize Limited for its cargo expansion and cruise port development project in the Port of Loyola area. Following review of a revised 2026 Environmental Impact Assessment and public feedback, NEAC emphasized that the project can proceed only if strong environmental and community safeguards are met. Dedredging remains a major concern with strict requirements to control sediment, properly manage dredge material, and prevent damage to marine life. Ongoing measures will also be required to address risks to water, land, and air quality. A proposed mangrove island for dredged material disposal is allowed only if it is safely engineered and closely monitored to ensure ecological success. While the revised proposal gained majority support, environmental groups remain concerned about unresolved risks. Speaking on the issue, Prime Minister John Bisenyo acknowledged potential environmental impacts, but says the government is committed to minimizing them as the project moves forward under close oversight.
Well, with the NGO community, you could never get their full support, and that's their right. We are going to address it, whatever it is that they believe that is being based, but we're going to do the right thing. It is time for us to build a cruise port for Belize and a new container port, and we have to do it, but we have to do it right, protecting the environment as best as we can. If you build a house, you change your environment. So obviously there's going to be some effects, but what we need to do is to mitigate them and to try to minimize them as best as we possibly can. And that is my commitment, and that's a commitment of our government, that we're going to do the best to mitigate the environmental issues, but to ensure that we can build a world-class port for the people of this country. Thank you very much.
His Excellency Amino Siwai Chi is the new ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan to Belize. Having presented his credentials on March 30th of 2026, a seasoned diplomat with prior experience in Belize, he succeeded Lily Li Wei-Siu to strengthen bilateral relations in areas like development, education, and technology. This is Chi's third tour serving in Belize, having previously worked as a third secretary in 2004 and first secretary in 2012. Yesterday, Ministry of Foreign Affairs Francis Fonseca told the media he welcomed Chi's appointment as he knows Belize.
Very good, very good. Ambassador Chi is no stranger to Belize. He has served in Belize before in different capacities. This is his first time serving as an ambassador. We're very, very happy to have him. He knows Belize, he understands Belize. He has a very deep appreciation and love for our country. His children went to school here in Belize. So we think we're going to have a very, very good, strong relationship with him that will help us to deepen and strengthen our partnership with Taiwan. And of course, Taiwan is a very, very important development partner of Belize.
In Taiwan, we see that the leader of the opposition has gone to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Is it time for Belize's politicians to start doing the same with China and having direct talks?
Not at all. Belize is firmly committed, our government is firmly committed to our relationship and our partnership with Taiwan. As I said, Taiwan has been a true friend of Belize, a strong partner in our national development, and we're absolutely fully committed to that relationship.
Situation continues to develop as Belize seeks to balance diplomatic considerations with the urgent need to uphold its healthcare services in remote regions. The Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology officially introduced the BSc Plan 2.0, a comprehensive strategic framework aimed at shaping Belize's educational landscape for the period from 2026 to 2030. Building upon the foundation laid by its predecessor, this new initiative emphasizes modernization through technological integration, competency-based approaches, and broader accessibility for learners nationwide from early childhood through secondary schooling. At the launch event held yesterday, officials highlighted key elements of the plan, including a significant investment in teacher training supported by the Millennium Challenge Corporation. The expansion of the Education Upliftment Project was also announced, targeting more schools across Belize to ensure equitable educational opportunities. Additionally, curriculum reform remains a core focus, equipping students with the skills necessary to compete globally and contribute to national development.
Education system. So, colleagues, at the heart of this plan are these objectives. And these objectives reflect a clear commitment not only to sustain progress, but to deepen and broaden the impact of that progress for every learner in Belize. The heart of the plan, as I have said, is a focused set of priority areas designed to drive measurable results, from strengthening governance and system efficiency and improving the quality of teaching and learning to expanding equitable access, particularly in early childhood and for vulnerable learners. Enhancing student support and school services, and aligning education with skills development and workforce needs. This plan is designed to meet the needs of the people we serve. Together, these priorities ensure that reforms are targeted, coordinated, and directly linked to improved outcomes.
Belize's education system, which serves over 100,000 students across various levels, is set to benefit from a substantial investment totaling approximately $300 million under the program. Now, there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
From Belize to Mexico, the journey of football's greatest moments will unite nations. Mexico, the only country to host the World Cup 3 times, 1970, 1986, and now in 2026, you can be a part of the game with Centaur. We're sending you and a friend to experience the opening of the World Cup firsthand. 2 tickets, flights, 3-night stay, and daily cash. One incredible opportunity. How to enter? Sign up for one of our new Express Plus bundles. Remember, faster speeds mean more entries. Existing customers, keep your account at 0 balance or pay in advance to be eligible. Plus, engage with us on social media for even more chances to win. The 2026 World Cup in Mexico awaits. Don't just watch, be part of it and score big with Centaur.
The National Agriculture and Trade Show (NATS) Committee has announced the winners of the Farmer of the Year 2026 competition. This prestigious accolade recognizes exceptional contributions to Belize's agricultural sector. In the male category, Saulo Mesh from the Cayo District was named Farmer of the Year, while Yolama Pocasangre, also from the Cayo District, received the award for Female Farmer of the Year. The Junior Farmer of the Year accolade went to Jeswa Sib, another promising young farmer from the Cayo District. The committee commended these individuals for their unwavering dedication, innovative practices, and steadfast commitment to advancing agriculture in Belize. Their efforts play a crucial role in strengthening the sector and maintaining agriculture as a vital component of the national economy. Furthermore, the committee expressed heartfelt appreciation to all the participants and judges involved in this year's competition. Gratitude was also extended to farmers throughout Belize for their vital role in ensuring food security, supporting rural livelihoods, and contributing to the overall development of the country. The public is hereby reminded that the 2026 National Agriculture and Trade Show will take place from April 30th to May 3rd of 2026. This year's theme, Advancing Smart Agriculture, Building a Climate-Resilient and Sustainable Belizean Food System, underscores the nation's commitment to innovative and sustainable agriculture practices. Today, the five members of the Elections and Boundaries Commissions were sworn in before HE Ambassador Stuart Leslie, the Deputy Governor General of Belize, in accordance with Section 88, second of the Belize Constitution. Oscar Sabido Puga serves as chair of the commission. He is joined by Orlando Espat and Conrad Lewis, appointed on the Prime Minister's advice after consulting the leader of the opposition, as well as Juliet Timbrell and Aldo Salazar, appointed on the Prime Minister's advice with the leader of the opposition's concurrence. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, April 13th, here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at www.ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log onto our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, have a safe and pleasant weekend. Thank you for watching and listening, and have a splendid night.